Welcome to Made in Ely, where we chat to local business owners about what they're building and how they're doing it. Recorded here at Ely Work Collective. Today we've got Ben Sulston from Change Coffee Roasters. Hi Ben, how you doing?
Hello.
Good morning. Good. Yes. Yeah.
So Ben, first of all, let's kick off. So tell us a bit about who you are, where you are, and what you do.
So I grew up in Cambridge, moved away, came back, and we have recently set up Change Coffee Roasters. So small independent specialty coffee business, roasting amazing coffee from all different parts of the world. Yeah.
What a sales pitch. That was a nice intro
that's
there. Very nice, very nice. So let's kick off with that. So how did Change Coffee Roasters start? So what's the journey there?
Yeah, so me and my business partner Rachel, we were going to set up a cafe, and the idea with that cafe was to grow our own produce, source locally, and then we wanted to eventually roast coffee for the business. The business didn't materialise. There was for numerous reasons, but it didn't. And then we thought, well, we were going to roast coffee for the business, so why don't we roast coffee, and then we can find a business to sell the coffee in. We started roasting coffee and realised that actually that was enough on its own.
I can imagine.
And glad we did. It's been well received and it's growing as we go. It's
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Lovely. So what was the vision from the beginning? Had you got a kind of a grand plan of where you wanted things to go?
Yeah, genuinely, like we wanted to make a change, sort of hence the name, and we are doing that. And from the start, that was our focus. A lot of specialty coffee companies do things similar to us, but a lot of coffee companies don't. So just from sourcing through to packaging, and we work with a rewilding project. So we're kind of planting trees to offset carbon. We started with completely compostable packaging. We've switched to fully recyclable, and we're working with projects around the world. We've recently invested in a Kickstarter project in Timor-Leste to kind of change the infrastructure around growing coffee there. So we are genuinely like trying to make a change, which has been amazing because that was the goal. We wanted great coffee first, but not at the sacrifice of anything else, and also making positive steps or making positive changes while sort of roasting great coffee.
Yeah, amazing. And what kind of, I guess, the challenges are with you being a small independent coffee roaster? You've got the big coffee companies kind of around the world. Have you had kind of any major challenges around that with approaching these places where you're sourcing your beans from and things, or have they been relatively kind of open to a small company like yourself coming in and trying something new?
Yeah, no, it's good. We've managed to. There's lots of importers that we work with. We've found we've got direct contact with some farms in Rwanda, but we're also working with some great importers. There's some really good importers in this country that have been really helpful, from getting samples, organising. Ultimately, over the time, we've streamlined it to people that understand our ethos and what we want from the coffee. And once you start building those relationships, we've been to trade shows and talked with those people, which I think is huge because nowadays it's just emails and texts and things like that.
Face to face is so much more important, isn't it, these days? I think.
Yeah. World of Coffee last year was huge for us in Geneva. We met a lot of the suppliers there and sort of looked people dead in the eyes and told them what we wanted and what we expected, and off the back of that, the relationships we've have just flourished over the last year, and that was a huge part to us. So actually being able to explain to people like what we want, why we want it, and what we're trying to do, and then ultimately strip away the people that don't fit with our ethos and focus on the ones that we do. We're really lucky to have some great importers that we work with.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, amazing. So, I guess kind of building on that. So you touched a little bit on the early days in terms of the challenges you had and things like that. What do people what are the things they don't know about that goes behind the scenes of kind of running the coffee business?
Gosh, yeah. So it's it's always the things you don't think about. Like for us, packaging is a nightmare. Couriers and packaging are the two things.
Yeah.
Like, and again, you talk with anybody in any industry that uses couriers, it's not their fault, but it's just a nightmare.
Yeah. we found even setting this place up, we've had so many things where it was like, we need this tomorrow, it's going to turn up tomorrow, it's going to turn up tomorrow. We then come in and waited for it, and then you get that failed delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been here all day. Like, where's it gone? Or just the fact that it's a day late or whatever, and it can be such a headache because obviously as a supplier, you want to get everything delivered to your customer as quickly as possible. But it's that middleman bit where if it goes wrong, there's not a lot you can really do about it.
No, but you feel responsible, and it's that kind of
your name on the package, isn't it?
100%, and it's that customer service. Like you've done everything you can. You've taken all the precautions necessary. You've done everything you possibly can. You've booked it in. You and then you hand it over to someone that effectively just doesn't care as much as you do.
Yeah.
For them, they're just getting an A to B. I always use the reference to Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, where the opening scene, and like sometimes people send me pictures. I'm literally like, how it left us. We've got fragile labels on it, like this way up, and then it gets there. It's crazy, but that's it's all part of it, and you realise that as you go. It's the things that you don't think about that form the challenges. The very start was interesting for us because Rachel went over to Amsterdam to pick up the roaster. So our first roaster was a 1 kilo roaster, which we collected from Holland. So she went over in the van and then sent a photo at one point of the roaster and the van looking like it wasn't going to fit.
Oh no!
And luckily they managed. I don't know how, but they managed to get it in the van and shut the doors and then come home. But that was like the start of the journey.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit in a good sense. It's been an adventure from day one, and there's been challenges from day one. But it's that was a sign of things to come, I think.
It's a fun journey.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah.
Oh no, because that's at the moment you're doing this alongside obviously your other jobs of juggling. How has that been?
Yeah, it's
the juggle.
Yeah, it's good. It's tricky, but yeah, I'm a chef by trade. I've been a chef forever, and the transition is. I'm effectively cooking and roasting at the moment. The goal is to shift more into the roasting, but we just need to grow the business in order to do that. So it's challenging, but it's good. It's good. You can roast coffee at midnight, so it's fine. Once all the other work's done, you can go and roast coffee. So in that sense, I'm lucky because you are able to roast around what else is going on. But it's a juggling act.
Yeah, and you've got the perfect liquid to keep you going as well.
Coffee lying around. So, 100%. Yeah.
Those late night roasting sessions. You're all
yes.
good.
Yeah.
So jumping into the coffee very quickly. Let's zero in on that. What, in your opinion, makes good coffee? Tell us about that.
Gosh, it's there's such a
big question. I know,
and again, I think what's amazing with coffee is everybody likes different coffee. And what myself and Rachel both like. I think I'm changing slightly. I would have always preferred a natural over a washed. There's also other processes as well, but ultimately, I like the fruitiness that comes with some of the amazing naturals you get. But for me, it's very there's lots of crossovers from coffee to food, and ultimately it starts at the growing process. So there's so much emphasis on the farmers, on the growing, on the process, and we're ultimately doing justice to what they've done. So we have to roast the coffee in order to do just what they've done. They've done the hard work in terms of growing it, washing it, processing it, and getting it to us. So what makes a good cup of coffee is a good farm. And a good infrastructure around that. And there's people doing things around farms nowadays which wouldn't have been heard of 10 years ago, and changing the way they grow the coffee from a sustainability point of view, like changing so many different things are happening at the farms, and it's super important for us to kind of focus in on that and understand what they're doing, which is important. And then when you get to making a good coffee, it's just sort of not overthinking it. You know, you can have a really nice cafetiere of coffee, you can have a nice espresso, you can have a nice filter coffee, you know, just good quality coffee. If you put good quality coffee into a cafetiere, put some boiling water on it, brew it, it's going to be amazing. You know, you can You can overthink it. You can weigh it. You can time it. You can, and again, not to say you shouldn't do that, but also like that can be intimidating. So a good cup of coffee is just what you make it.
Yeah.
Good quality beans, roasted nicely.
And I guess jumping on that about good quality coffee and coffee being, it can be quite an intimidating product. If you're someone who most of your life has just liked a cup of coffee and has never really looked into a coffee, buying it or anything, just gone, I have coffee at work, it does the job. What kind of advice would you give to someone who's looking to kind of broaden their horizons with coffee, maybe try something different, but when they look at the shelves, they just see 50
God.
different roasteries, all these different types of beans? Like, what would be a good kind of safe starting point, or just some advice to give someone like to get into it?
We spend a lot of time doing cuppings with people for this exact reason, because you just don't know, right? It's like anything, and it's interesting. Some of the people I talk with now that have bought our coffee are like, I've changed. I won't go here. I won't go there. I book my holidays based on where there's nice coffee, and that's really cool, because I think once you understand it and once you've tasted good coffee, you're not then going to go to some of the other places that the coffee's not as good quality, and you realise that actually that coffee is terrible. But from a starting point, it's tricky. Like specialty coffee. There's loads of really good roasters, and ultimately just look for like a specialty grade coffee, which is scored above 85% in terms of the grading system, and just start with a simple washed coffee, like a washed coffee. Look for flavor profiles that you like on the packaging, and it's tricky because it's so subjective. I mean, for us, like we've got an amazing Colombian at the moment, and that's a great introduction. We've got a lovely Kenyan, which is a bit more fruity but still washed. But then we've got some crazy ones which taste of kind of like raspberries and vanilla. And I think sometimes that can put people off. So like, don't go straight in. If you see something that's like raspberry and nougatine and milkshakes, maybe that's not a great introduction to specialty coffee, because you sort of it's a bit strange. You're used to just there's certain elements of coffee that people like. It's that kind of chocolatey, nutty. That's what people associate with coffee. And if you go from that straight into something that's like, I mean, I've recently had one that was like umami and whiskey. And it was a tough drink for me, but I was like, if that had been someone's introduction to specialty coffee, like they would never have drunk it again.
Put them off straight away.
Look for the flavour profiles you like. Find a good roaster.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And what are kind of the more common mistakes that you see from people who are trying coffees who then go, oh, I didn't like it, and you kind of, what's your process? They tell you, and you go, oh, that's probably why. What are some of those like big mistakes?
Yeah, I think it's like, I guess it's just like sometimes if people are buying specialty coffee, it's just understanding most nowadays you can find brewing methods on YouTube. Some specialty coffee companies have like brewing methods on their website. That's something we're working towards. So if you buy the coffee, you can go to the website and there's a brewing method that we recommend, and that's something that we're working towards. But our coffee changes so frequently. It's just that's not the priority at the moment. But even just finding a kind of go-to starting point. So like an average brew method, which is what we do when we're brewing. We have a standard ratio of water to coffee, and then we'll adjust that according to the coffee based on what we want to get from it. And it can be extraction times, it can be volume. There's so many variables. So I think finding a starting point to brew with and having that flat line and then adjusting from there. Because if you're over extracting, under extracting, it can completely change the profile of the coffee and make what could be an amazing coffee not taste great. So as I'm thinking about that, as I'm talking, I'm like, what we need to do is we need to just put that base recipe out there. So that's note to self.
Because I mean, I don't know about you, I've watched so many different videos of different extraction methods and different ways of making coffee, and I look at going, this is great. And if I had the time and the money and the volition to have this process, I would do it every day. But I also don't want to make a subpar cup of coffee because I'm just doing it quickly to get out of the house and get to work. So I guess it's having the right method that is hopefully as simple as possible, but still gets the best possible product out of it is really important, isn't it?
That's key.
And I think that's what can put people off is they try it, they buy a really expensive bag of coffee, a really expensive coffee maker, and it's not dialed in properly. And then they have their first cup of coffee and go, I've just wasted X amount. I could have just bought one down the road for £6 and not
Yeah.
had this problem. But I think then when it's done properly, it's night and day. Well, we've certainly found that like changing our coffee is just brilliant. And again, the Columbia of yours that we're stocking at the moment here is going down really, really well. And a lot of people didn't realise there is better coffee out there than some unnamed high street brands that they're buying instead on their way to work.
And I think
it's
that's
just-
huge. I think people just don't know. They'll drink. We've done cuppings with people before where they've cupped a well-known brand alongside other ones, and they give tasting notes of like burnt rubber and things like that. It's like that's the coffee you've been drinking for 5 years, but you just put syrup in it, you put sugar in it, you put milk in it. A lot of the time when we do cuppings and we do tastings, people will drink the coffee and they're like, oh, I could drink that without sugar, or I wouldn't need milk in that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And and it's just that understanding of coffee in this country. We're slightly behind other countries in terms of understanding of coffee and the culture, but we're getting there, and I think it's huge. There's crossovers with the food industry as well. Like you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
If you spend £20 on a chicken, that chicken is going to have a better life. It's going to taste better. Everybody that produced that chicken is going to be getting paid a fair amount of money. If you spend £4 on a chicken, like. What do you expect? It's not going to be great. Maybe it didn't have the best life. Where does it come from? Who knows? And coffee's exactly the same in that sense.
And like you said, maybe also just folks going along to a cupping event or something like that. That's to be fair, it's not something I've heard of before. I've never heard it talk about in that way as a cupping event, but just to try and experiment.
Yeah, definitely. So we when we advertise them, we call it coffee tasting, because for that exact reason, because there's so many other like people don't know what a cupping is, and why would you?
No,
in the industry, it's like, and again, I think this is a huge thing for us in the industry. It's like you don't want people to feel alienated or feel stupid for not knowing. Why would you know?
It's like wine tasting, isn't it? It's very similar. Like you can be like, it can have quite a kind of snobbish connotation to some people, when actually it should be more accessible and more open to everyone, because at the end of the day, you want to sell more of your product to more people.
100%.
So why would you want to alienate people in that respect?
And I think there's people doing really good stuff around that. I went to a coffee shop in Bath recently. I've been wanting to go there for ages. It's Kelowna. It's like a kind of like amazing place, amazing. I've drunk their coffee, but never been to the coffee shop. And I went in just as a customer, and the guy was explaining to me like how it worked, and they only did a certain type of espresso. Certain coffees worked for espresso, certain worked for filter, and the way he communicated that to me was amazing. Because sometimes you can go in places and you look at them and watching other people having the same conversation, I was like, that's huge. Like it's so important that when someone comes in and looks at the wall and there's 3 coffees here, and it can be daunting, and you want people to enjoy the coffee. It shouldn't be like a kind of, if you don't know, then why you want everybody enjoying specialty coffee. Education and non-patronising. And if people know, that's fine. But if you just say, oh no, this coffee would work really well as an espresso, this one's more for the filter, it wouldn't work. So please enjoy it as this. And it was just, that was a really good experience. And the more places like that, and the more time we can spend talking to people about coffee and kind of explaining why it's speciality, what makes it, maybe it's a little bit more expensive to buy a bag, but why it's more expensive.
Like you said, it's you get what you pay for in a lot of respects.
100%.
You are paying for that extra quality, and it's not just the product at the end, it's the backstory, isn't it? Like you said, it's the higher paid workers, the more ethically sourced, and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, I think there's a lot of education around it that can be done without, like you said, without it either sounding patronising or elitist, or both, depending on the kind of where you go.
So folks need to look out for a coffee tasting.
Yes, yeah.
Get themselves along.
No, definitely do. Because again, it's an opportunity to try something new, and you might come along and go, do you know what? I'm happy with the coffee I've got. Yeah. If you've never tried it, you never know.
Exactly. No, definitely. Well, I'm going to switch gear a little bit into your sort of food background, because as you touched on a little bit earlier on, obviously you're a chef. You're that's kind of your background too, which is super interesting. You come from that. What kind of drew you into food? Give us a bit of a picture of that and sort of the journey there as well.
Gosh, yeah. So when I was at school, one day a week I went to Cambridge Lodge Hotel on Huntingdon Road and worked with a chef there. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wasn't particularly a high achiever. So luckily somebody noticed that and thought maybe we should give him some direction. And yeah, lucky the chef there was amazing. Like we made shortbread together, we prepped fish, we went in the garden, we picked flowers to go on the plates. He spent so much time with me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is good. This is cool. And then from there, managed to get an apprenticeship with the University Arms in Cambridge and worked there for my first 2 years. So left school July birthday. So left school at 15 and started working there straight away, literally as soon as I left, and did an apprenticeship with them, working in all the departments of the hotel, and just loved it. Loved hospitality. Worked in reception, restaurant, bar, lounge, kitchen, accounts, sales, marketing, everything. And the environment was insane. I knew I was in like the right place, but wanted to specialize. I wanted to specialize in the cooking. And then followed into cooking. I think for me, I was talking with somebody else the other day. When I was working in front of house, sometimes you'd have to apologise because the chefs had made a mistake. So I kind of like if you'd forgotten something or not taken their wine or the table was dirty, I'm sorry, I'll sort that.
Yeah.
But when someone says this isn't cooked properly or this doesn't taste very nice, you're like, I can't really do anything about that. So I was like, I enjoy customer facing. I enjoy talking with customers, but I don't. I was like, actually, if I'm in the kitchen, then I can just make sure that they don't have that issue. And then I started working more in the kitchen and just enjoyed it. Like it was more than that, but that was like one of the reasons. And then when I was in the kitchen, it was just a lot more fun. Just an absolute buzz in there, service. And never looked back really. Just from there, various hotels, restaurants. But it all started at Cambridge Lodge, and then University Arms, and then lots of various places from there. So it's been doing it like what are we now? Probably 25 years. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I joke like you do anything long enough and you get good at it. So
It's true.
I'm still working on it, but we're getting there. And also, you've got your supper clubs as well that you're doing now as well, and
Yes.
they're super interesting. I say we're going to one of them,
Yeah,
we're really looking forward to that. How did that kind of idea come around for you, and how have you found kind of doing that in the last? How long have you did about a year or so, or a bit longer?
Yeah, so I started my supper clubs I had a cafe in Kent, and I started doing them there. And we used to do one Friday a month, and there would be 8 people sat around a table in the cafe. And the first one I remember, I think I sold like 2 tickets, and then I was like phoning up my friends going, do you want to come to a supper club? So like when we did the last Willow Grange, we sold 48 tickets. Like it was crazy.
Amazing.
So like and for me, like that's one of those moments when you're like, you remember that day when you're like begging people to come. After the first one in Kent, it built, and we were selling out. Eventually, we're selling out 2 nights of like 30, but it started. Nobody knew what it was. This was probably like 2016.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
yeah.
it was a new thing, and then from there built more and more supper clubs, built more of a reputation for doing that. And then Willow Grange is amazing because we use their beef, we use produce locally, like we use grain culture for the sourdough. All the produce is sourced locally, and it's really cool to be able to use their beef on the evenings. And like that's a massive thing for me. Like everything's sourced locally, talking to everybody about the food, making it an experience, and serving like delicious food. It's really good fun. And I think no matter as far as I go into coffee, like I will always want to do those supper clubs. I keep thinking I can't not. Because I love it. It's genuinely like I have so much fun on the night. I love the preparation. Like it takes all week to get ready. You're marinating and butchering and getting things ready and prepping things, and it takes a long time, but that time is like meditation for me. Like it's just so nice to just be in a kitchen prepping, enjoying it, working with great produce, talking with the suppliers. Like I was talking with the butcher at Willow Grange about the beef today, getting excited about that. It's like it's so not those interactions with people. And again, he knows more about butchery than me, so like I know a little bit, but I talk with him and he'll suggest things, and it's great because you kind of work with them, and then the customer gets the best product. Like last time we were talking about what part of the sirloin I wanted, and he was telling me I wanted one bit, and I was like, no, I think I want the other. and then when he got the sirloin out and showed me, I was like, oh yeah, no, you're right. That's you know what you're doing, don't you? I should just listen to you.
I think that's a beauty, though, isn't it? I guess, like you say, of having the butcher being right there, being a local business, you can kind of
you're not just
speak to
ordering meat in and going, well, this is what I've got, let's work with it.
No,
So,
100%. And again, that's the benefit of like going to a butcher as well. Like I was at Willow Grange this morning, and someone was at the counter talking with them, and they can advise you on what you want to eat rather than the shelves in the supermarkets, and not be, you just grab what you're used to, right? You can try something new because the butcher would be like, oh, why don't you try this? This is really good. You could cook it like that, or there's that interaction, and it's good. But the supper clubs are amazing. Absolutely love them. Great way of kind of showcasing local produce and like a really good atmosphere as well. So it's good fun.
Yeah, we can't wait. It's in the diary. It's going to be really good.
Very excited. Well, so that's a really nice kind of, I guess, thread there around the local element. Obviously, a lot of what you do, you're local to here, working with local suppliers. How important has that been, I guess, to the business, to the coffee and for the food side, about supporting other local businesses sort of from both sides?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think the community is massive. Like Cambridgeshire has got like a really good kind of hospitality community, and I think like supporting one another is massive. Like you know, there's no reason why you shouldn't be buying like your bread from. Why would you buy your bread from someone that's not 5 minutes down the road if they're selling it? Why would you not buy your coffee from someone that's 5 minutes down the road? Like I think everybody wants to support each other, and like ultimately you work together and you build together. And I think that's huge. Like I've done it with food, and I think it transitions well into coffee as well. Like there's some there's some amazing coffee roasters around Cambridge, and it doesn't have to be using just us, but like people in Cambridge should be using coffee roasters in Cambridge, really. Like there's no reason why not, in the same way you should be buying your bread, your meat, your veg, things like that. It's it's huge. And most people do. So it's good. And that's really positive that there is that kind of support from everyone. We work with people, like we will always go in and do training with them. We're just down the road. So most of the people we work with are local. On a wholesale point of view, so we can go in, we can do training, we can go in if they've got a problem with the grinder, we can go in if they've got a problem with the machine, we can literally we can go in, talk with them, we're on the end of the phone, and that's something that if you're a national company, like eventually one day we might be, and that's a challenge we'll have to address. And I know people that roast coffee that do that, and they're driving to Newcastle to fix a machine for a client there on a Monday morning, and that again, when we get to the challenges, that'll be like a good challenge. But for now, our customers are local, and it allows us to have that face-to-face contact. And again, we go in the places that we supply, we go in and we have food there, we eat there. We did before they sold our coffee, and we will continue to do that, and everybody can support each other. It's a really good,
Yeah, I feel like there's been a bit of a shift in attitude towards kind of that face-to-face approach again, especially with businesses where we all went through a period of loving convenience, and it was like, well, I could go use the decorator in the next town, or we could get our supplies from local businesses, or we could save some money and do it all online. It will be delivered tomorrow and be perfect. But then if it goes wrong or something doesn't turn up, we then got to go through a call centre or a long and arduous returns process and things like that. And it's kind of hit that point, I think, where again people are starting to realise that quality element was missing from convenience.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why kind of going back to working with more local businesses and people in your area is really picking up again. I also think social media is playing a huge part in this, in more educating the general public on what's around, because again, we all know about your Amazons and your big supermarkets, and it's easy to shop online and that kind of stuff, but not everyone in a town knows literally what's on their doorstep until they're made aware of it. It just takes you to pick your phone up and the algorithm to go, did you know this little coffee shop's down the road from you, and their coffee's all roasted up the road and their bread's all from the bakery around the corner. So then go, oh, actually, I didn't realise that. I do want to go and support local and do that, because there's this big focus on the high street and everything as well. And I think that's playing a key part in fixing that community kind of aspect of things.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's super important, and social media is it's like I don't know what the word for it is, but like good and bad, right?
Oh, there's 100%.
There's so many bad things about it, but there's also so many amazing things. Like there's more, the positives outweigh the negatives. And like from a small business point of view, from local businesses supporting one another, spreading the word, collaborations, things like that, like it's huge. Like you kind of it does amazing things for small businesses and makes people aware of other things. And even people, it's one of the kind of classic things is just by sharing something to your stories or whatever it is, or whether you share it on Facebook or Instagram or how you do it, that the people that follow you may not know that place exists.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, oh, wow, I didn't know that was there. That's 2 minutes from me.
Yeah. We've had that firsthand here where we've had a particular person's come in, they've stayed for the day or a few hours, they've then just posted up a story saying they've been to this new co-working space, and then an hour later we would have gained 6-7 more followers or even more, and then we'll get a booking for somebody.
Yeah.
And they're people that, I didn't know you existed until I saw it on X or whatever.
And it takes 2 seconds. Like it literally just. And again, I'm not. People do what they want, but I just. I really am an advocate for that. Like just sharing things to your stories. You don't have to do like a post about it. I mean, I do sometimes. I'll go somewhere and I'll be like, this is amazing, and I'll do a post. Yeah. But a lot of the time, if I'm somewhere and something's nice, I'll just post it to my stories. Like Instagram has lost a little bit of what it started as. Like it used to be like you just take a photo, you couldn't edit it, you take a photo, and then you post it and it's done. And now it's all edited and it's great, but it's not what it was. So I try and use the stories as that kind of like raw original thing. So it's like, boom, I'm here. Yeah. This and tag the people then know, and it's just I use it to kind of share the love basically, and hopefully let people know about things that I think are cool. And
no, we're exactly the same. We do, exactly the same. We've got sharing, people that have been here for the day, or like you say, folks that we work with, or other local independent, if they're running an event, or like you say, it's just a bit more of that authentic. Let's just support each other, I suppose, from that point of view, because it really does make a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, really, and it's the same. Like we with the supper clubs, like someone could post a story to say like, oh, I had this at the supper club, and then all of their friends then see it, and then they want to go, and how you're never going to reach those people without that one person doing it, and it works for all industries and all. You'll
be sold out.
Well, hopefully,
good problem to have.
Backed up until Christmas.
It'll be good.
So I just kind of want to touch on a little bit about, I guess, that reality versus maybe the dream of when you started out. So for people that are, hearing this and maybe thinking about starting their own business, or maybe already are, and that kind of thing. For you, I guess, what are the things that have been harder than you expected, maybe, or on the flip side of it, the things that have been better than you expected, kind of going into this?
Yeah, gosh, it's it's like the one thing, and again, I talk with lots of people, people that have worked with me previously that are thinking of doing things, and like you just have to love it. You have to love it, because there's going to be times when when I first set up my cafe, I remember at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm in the sink doing the dishes, and I'm like, I'm literally looking, I'm like, what are you doing? But then you're like, but this is mine. These are my dishes. And with hospitality, like obviously you have to make money, but there's more to it. Like it's the customer feedback, it's the reaction, it's that kind of, and you're lucky you get that kind of, it's almost, someone explained it to me once, like a DJ, like your DJ plays music, people go, yeah. And it's that instant kind of, and it's the same with the supper clubs. It's the same when you're roasting coffee, when people are tasting the coffee, they love it. Like, this is really nice, and you're like, yes, and
we've created that.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's why we do it. Like the long hours, the hard work, like it's ultimately for customer satisfaction, more than money. I think most people in hospitality are there for passion. Like they've either fallen into that job, and that's what they know and that's what they love. And then they're able to make a career from it, or they're able to make a business from it. And I think a lot of the time, like in hospitality, you just have to love it, because it's hard. I
was going to say,
there's easier ways to make money.
I think the general public don't fully, or a lot of them don't fully appreciate what goes into getting that plate on their table. And they do think it is just someone turns up at like a 9 to 5 and they cook the food, it comes out. How can it be difficult? And they don't realise it's those, like you said, the days of prep beforehand, the long shifts, the late nights cleaning up and packing down, all that kind of stuff. So like you said, to do that, you have to really love what you do, because otherwise there's other stuff you could do that would be, let's face it, a lot easier in life, and you could probably make more money or whatever in the short term, but it's be able to express yourself and kind of...
And it gets you through those hard times, right? There's times when literally, like, I've been in some like really, really low points, and things have happened and like just not great. But then you love it. So like it's okay, because you can bounce back. Whereas if you didn't love it and you weren't sure, those times are going to break you, and you're going to give up. yeah, that's it. It's passion and love for the industry and the people in it and the customers.
It's the people I found from working in there as well, is that, like you said, you create a very tight knit community that are basically family at that point. You spend so many hours working with them. I found that I knew more about my colleagues in hospitality than I did my own friends and family half the time, because we were there so many hours. And like you, going through some really tough times in life outside, they were the people that kind of kept it all together, whether it's because you were so flat out busy you couldn't think about it, or you were so exhausted that you just want to get the job done.
Yeah, 100%.
But you wouldn't get that in an office or a 9 to 5 or something like that. And it's a very unique thing, hospitality, and it's, I think, very underappreciated and unknown in the world, apart from those who've done it.
Yeah, I think there's so many like memes and things around it. Like people just wouldn't understand. Like some of the stuff that goes on, you're like if you talk with people that are in like normal life, you're like, that's bizarre. Like, and I saw something the other day, and it was saying in what world does a chef turn up with? It was an American thing, but it turn up with like 140-degree temperature, and the general manager says, "Are you okay to get through service?" And he does. And it was like that. Like, in what other planet is that conversation happening?
No, certainly not.
and A, the general manager asking that question, and B, the chef saying, "Yeah, no, I'll be fine."
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're coming to the end now, which is very sad. I feel like we could talk to you all day. But I just we've got a couple of quick fire questions that we're gonna sort of finish up on.
Yeah.
So we're not quite yes or no answers, but feel free to elaborate as well.
No.
But just for folks to kind of to cover off, like you said, the coffee side and the food side. So maybe we'll tag team these, James.
Okay, so you go first.
Okay, so how do you take your coffee?
Gosh, yeah. So I think every way, but I think my standard order if I'm out is a flat white. I love filter, but I think I probably drink more flat whites than anything. Quick fire, flat white.
Okay, flat white. Right,
nice.
Got it.
Second one, eat out, cook at home.
Gosh, eat out.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to jump on that really quickly, just to spoil this game. Where's in the last, say, 2 weeks? Where's the best place you've been recently? Or somewhere that's new or interesting that people might not know about yet.
So not Marlow. Oh my goodness. So Steak and Honour on Mill Road.
The new one.
The new one. Yeah. I've eaten their burgers for as long as I've been back in Cambridge, but that was insane. That was like 100% need to go there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Cool. Add that to the list.
Sorry, I'll let you.
No, okay.
I've ruined the game already.
No, I know. Are you early mornings or late nights?
Both.
Especially given what we just said about the business as well.
Yeah.
You have to be.
I definitely function better in the evenings. Like I can stay. I'm a night owl, but then I need the time in the mornings as well.
Yeah. No.
Maximise your numbers of hours.
Yeah.
And finally, one ingredient you can't live without.
Coffee.
Love that. I'm going to sneak in one last question, actually, because why not? Yeah. On that, seems a nice segue into it. The coffees you've got at the moment, which is your favourite?
We've got an Indonesian coffee, like a natural Indonesian coffee that we cupped at the World of Coffee last year in Geneva, and we cupped. It was the end of the day, and there was a cupping, and there was probably about 50 cups there. And we went round. We'd drunk so much coffee by that point, and as much as you love coffee, you can get to the point where you're like, okay.
Enough.
And we went through them, and we try and keep a poker face when we're tasting, so that we both like the same one.
Yeah.
Then there's no bias. Yeah. And we went through, and one of them, I literally got to it. I tasted it. I was like, wow. And then I had to sort of play it cool, keep going round. We got to the end. I was like, "Oh, is there any that you liked, Rachel?" She was like, "Yeah, there was one." I was like, "Oh, there's one I liked as well." I was like, "Which one was it?" Yeah. And then we were both like, "That one." And it's insane. And everybody that's had it has said it's the best coffee they've ever had. Like, no matter what you do with it, it just works. Like, it's genuinely crazy. Like, and it was a small lot, so we only got a small sack of it. We should have ordered like 10 bags, but we got one because it was pretty crazy, but it was cool. And that, at the moment we've got like a limited. Probably got about. Yeah, we haven't got very much of it left, but that is just one of those coffees that we'll remember that forever. Like that's a really special coffee.
I want it now.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of our interrogation done. Thank you so much for taking the time to come down to us. Really, really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
now your kind of little bit, where can people find you? What's the best way to get in touch with Change or to find out about your tastings or anything like that?
Yeah, so Change Coffee, www.changecoffee.co.uk, Change Coffee on Instagram, Facebook. We are stocked in Willow Grange Farm Shop. They've got their own Willow Grange blend alongside all our coffees. You can get our coffee in the cafe there. We also stock in Bushel Box in Willingham. We've got you can drink the coffee in the Admiral in Over. You can drink the coffee at La Pizzetta. There's a place in Eddington that sells absolutely epic Neapolitan pizzas. I can never pronounce the name, but they serve our coffee. And any information around cuppings and tastings is online on the socials.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
And just shameless self-plug for us, you can also drink Change Coffee's
Sorry,
Columbia
I beg your
beans
pardon.
here at Ely Work Collective,
Yeah.
where all our members get it included in their price.
It's great. It's great to be. Yeah, and I've had an amazing cup this morning. So yeah, but yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's it. I sort of stumbled. I should have written all that down. I should have listed the
No, we
places.
caught you off guard.
But yeah, any questions on Change Coffee, then head to the website and
Brilliant.
have a look, and hopefully you can enjoy some Change Coffee.
Awesome. And also keep an eye on Willow Grange and other places for your supper clubs too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
great. Well, thank you so much, Ben. It's been
Pleasure.
brilliant. Yeah,
thanks.
No,
so much
great
fun.
morning.
Thank
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. No worries. Great.